Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the repeat of MediaScope. If you've never seen me live on YouTube today, that's because, or at all, that's because I've never been live on YouTube. My name is Tachi. I'm a media professor, a filmmaker, a media content producer, and I'm also a journalist. So, usually, what I do is I upload the show, the MediaScopes that I do on Periscope, Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, and WJMSradio.com onto YouTube. But I've just been so busy lately and I have a backlog. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go live and actually talk to you and do a little bit of what we talked about for the last show of 2019. Guys, it's the last show of the decade. Can you imagine? We have spent an entire decade, and what have we done? I can tell you what I've done. 4 years of MediaScope. So we're going to get to I'm going to give you guys a hug. That's what I usually do on the other platforms to let you know that I appreciate you being here, and we are going to get to it. All right, so here we go. We have a few stories that we're going to run through that I talked about on Wednesday. I'm going to run them down for you again today. You probably didn't even know that I was on those other platforms, but yes, we've been doing it and I'm going to do it here. So I don't know how often I'm going to go live here, but we will see. I may just go back to uploading the other episodes so that you guys can do it. But you know what? It's so much more fun live. We'll see. We'll do what we do. Okay, so I am a cord cutter. Are you guys cord cutters? If you don't know what that means, cord cutting is when you refuse to pay the high behind prices that cable will have you pay for HBO 1, 2, 3, 4, and 17, and you cut the cord and you're using services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, you're using Sling or YouTube TV to get your content so it's free and or cheap, low cost content rather than being beholden to the cable companies, which we so hate. So we love to do that. We also love free trials. I love a good free trial. But guess what I do? I cut it right off as soon as the free trial is over if there's nothing that catches my fancy. And guess what? I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people who do that. And in fact, there is a study that was just done by Ree Curley, who actually provides billing services for the cable industry and some of these over-the-top services that says that cord cutters love to watch until the free trial ends. So let's talk about what's happened lately. What was the big thing? And I've been talking about this for weeks. We've all been talking about this for weeks. Disney Plus. Disney Plus is a huge, huge thing. Okay, Disney Plus is the latest and greatest in the over the top in the streaming wars. There've already been some casualties, and I'm expecting a few more. But for in terms of the streaming wars, Disney Plus is the latest one. Okay, so Disney Plus. They have all this content. They've got Marvel, although they don't have the distribution rights for all of the Marvel movies. They've got, of course, Disney and the Disney Vault. And they've got Star Wars now. What's the latest, greatest thing? The Mandalorian. I love The Mandalorian. Protect Baby Yoda at all costs, or the child, but whatever, Baby Yoda at all costs. Okay, so but that's really, in my opinion, what they have. How many times can you watch a Marvel Universe movie over and over? Some people can watch it over and over, or Star Wars over and over, but I'm not one of those people. And I adore the Marvel Universe. I am a nerd times 10. Okay, I adore the Marvel Universe. However, I'm not really looking to watch those movies over and over. And on top of that, they they don't really have a lot of new properties. They do have some new original programming. That's why all these plus channels, they're all saying, besides the catalog that they have, they're trying to create original programming. That, in my opinion, is what it's going to take to keep us with some of these things and not cut it off after the first week. So what this is called in the media industry is called churn. When you have people that will sign up for a free trial or sign up, say, because a show they like is on and immediately after it ends, they cut it off. I'm a fan of that. Just have to say. But that is churn, and they're all trying to avoid churn. So there's a learning curve that all these over-the-top networks have to meet. I'm interested to see how they're going to prevent this churn, how they're going to go ahead and get people to stay. And that is the operative thing. I can tell you how you can stay, and it's not a big secret. You can stay by offering good original content. At the end of the day, that's what it is. That's it. Unless you are offering good content that consumers want to watch, there's no reason for me to stick around. Hence why I cut off Disney Plus. Now, that doesn't mean there's not good content there. That just means for me, it did not draw my attention, and it's not enough for me to be able to no, not be able, but to justify paying $6.99 a month, because it's $7 a month for just Disney Plus. If you do some of these other packages, it could go up to $13 or $14 a month. So yeah, that's not me, not I, said the cat. But for some people, it's worth it. Maybe you have children and you really, really need this Disney to keep them zen, if that's your level of zen. So maybe for you, it's worth it. For me, somebody like me, it's not. So it's going to be interesting to see how they overcome the hurdles of somebody like me and still retain the people who really want, for example, that Disney vault, or who are really interested in the Star Wars trilogies, etc. All right, so that's what's happening there. We love to cut the cord and we love free trials, but we'll cut it the hell off as soon as it ends. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Hallmark. By now, you already know that Hallmark reversed its decision in terms of pulling the ads featuring same-sex wedding. So if you don't know, let me quickly go through it. Hallmark had an ad from a wedding planning company that is called Zola. And they showed a same-sex couple, a lesbian couple, and they were getting married, and there was a kiss. Well, 1 million moms against every damn thing. That's what I call them, but I think it's called 1 million moms or something like that. They actually were, they are a conservative group, and they were in an uproar after seeing this on the Hallmark channel. So Hallmark then tweeted about it and pulled it, or went on social media about it and pulled it. Okay, then everybody else wasn't happy. You knew good and damn well, Hallmark, that this was going to happen. They pulled it. The others got on several LGBT groups, several people that were upset with the decision, got on social media and had at the dragged them basically. So then here comes Hallmark. Oh, sorry. No, we didn't mean it. We did not mean to offend. In fact, let me say what they said. The Crown Media team has been, who Crown Media is the parent company of Hallmark, and says the Crown Media team has been agonizing over this decision as we've seen the hurt it has unintentionally caused. First of all, you didn't care. Second of all, it wasn't unintentional. Yeah, I don't think so. So this was Hallmark Card CEO Mike Perry said this, simply said they believe it was the wrong decision. We are truly sorry for the hurt and disappointment it has caused. How about insult? Would this be acceptable if they had pulled it because it was a black couple or an Asian couple? Put in any other group, would that have been acceptable? Probably not. So why is it acceptable in this case? And here's the thing, Hallmark, you took Zola's money. You were perfectly fine with the advertisement until 1 million moms against every damn thing came and said something. You were fine until then. So what's the problem now? The bottom line is, here's the problem. A, you don't know your brand. Whether you agree or disagree with their first decision or their reversal and their reinstatement or whatever, whether you agree or disagree with it, it's clear that you're not clear what your brand is and who your audience is. I'm assuming, just like with any other media outlet and any other advertiser, that they view the content of the ads before it ever airs. Excuse me. And as such, since you viewed the content, how did you not know that this was the content? And how did you not know it was going to be problematic for your audience, if that's who your audience is? But do you even know? So that's a big issue. The fact that you don't seem to know who your audience is. If you're going to flip-flop back and forth like this, whether you agree or disagree with it, this Hallmark doesn't know their brand. And I think it's deplorable, and it is discrimination to the highest degree. People, there were all sorts of people on Twitter saying, "Well, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch." That's not the point. The point is that when somebody pays for this, they've paid for this advertising already. Now you want to decide to reverse discriminate? Yeah, that's why I'm sure there are many people who will not be watching the wonderful same themed stories that you have all the time. And not that I'm necessarily a big Hallmark watcher anyway. To me, they have the same damn story. A woman quits her corporate job so that she can open a cupcake store in a quaint small town where it's always winter and Christmas, and then falls in love with the handyman who helps to build her business to new heights, and they fall in love and live happily ever after. That's the same premise for every damn Hallmark movie. So, meh, not for me. Maybe it's for some other people, though. Let me know if that type of thing is for you. I'd be super interested to know. Okay, moving on. We have a couple of more stories that we talked about on Wednesday, and I am going to continue on. Okay, so let's talk some tech. We talked media, let's talk tech. And of course, this is all about media, tech, and pop culture news. So, there's a lab testing firm, hacks. Two hacks that have happened. One, a lab testing firm in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, paid off a hacker because the hacker obviously hackers threatened to expose personal data and information on the dark web and otherwise. So they're called Life Labs. They're a Toronto-based lab. The breach affected 15 million customers, names, physical addresses, login credentials, dates of birth, and health card numbers were all looted in the hack. But the smaller subset, about 85,000 customers, also had their health lab results. Sorry, lab test results, health lab results, same thing. Lab test results leaked, or threatened to be leaked. So that's serious. We understand that's one thing that, look, data is gold, ladies and gentlemen. Your data is information gold. So we already know that there are bad actors out there looking for that to sell and make a profit off of your stuff. So that's one thing. But it's another thing when you go to a lab to get tested for a health ailment or just your regular run-of-the-mill lab test, and that stuff could be leaked. That is hideous and terrible. And this is what they said, that um, they have retrieved the data by making a payment. They did this in collaboration with experts who are experienced in cyber attacks and negotiations with cyber criminals. So, my question is, did you not know these individuals who could keep things secure before the hack happened? Why are we so reactive as opposed to proactive? Especially in this day and age, which is the day and age of the hacks and hackers, you really have to spend the money and secure your system. Obviously, when it comes to hacking and information, an individual who really wants that information will find methods to obtain that information, but you can make it harder for them. So I don't know why it was not made harder for them. It's very simple. So, in some cases now, to hack things, you need to have 3 and 4 and 5-factor authentication. You need to make it super difficult for these criminals to get into your system. And in my humble opinion, the reason some companies are not is because of cost. All of this costs to keep things secure. But now it's going to cost you even more if something leaks and something, because I'm sorry, we can say, well, they said that they haven't seen anything. The cyber security experts said they haven't seen anything on the web or the dark web or otherwise to indicate that they still leaked it. That doesn't mean that they're not going to do it. They could say, we decided that we're not satisfied with whatever Bitcoin you paid us. And this could be, it won't be tomorrow. It could be down the road. We still have this information. Yeah, we'd like to request more money. That's always a possibility. So the moral of the story is, the same experts that you're going to employ to help you get out of this mess, you can employ to help you secure your system so this type of thing is less likely to happen. So, if you are a customer of Life Labs in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and they cover all of Ontario, that's why there were like 15 million people involved. You may want to see if you were involved in this, and I'm sure they have already notified the people whose information has been compromised or may have been compromised. Okay, so off of one hack to another, the Ring doorbell. Is anybody a Ring fan? Ring is actually pretty cool. As you know, it allows you to monitor what's going on in your home while you're not there. You can actually speak while you're not there, and they will hear you if they're at the door. Gives you little alerts and warnings when a squirrel goes by or somebody drops off an apple pie. You're able to see and hear. these individuals. Here is the issue that happened. There was a hack, a fairly serious hack at that. The latest one was a girl, an 8-year-old girl in Mississippi. Um, the hacker was able to take over the home system and was able to talk to her. And this was actually just Tuesday. They released all of this information, and there are joint warnings by the Electronic Privacy Information Center and a group called Mihente, and another nonprofit advocacy group called Fight for the Future. And they've issued a warning for these Ring cameras, saying that they are not safe. Yeah, I would think so. And this is not the only case. There was a case where the hackers were actually talking to the dog, to families' dogs inside the home. So, Fight for the Future's Ken Mickle, excuse me, says this: Amazon is not taking the steps necessary to protect their users. And in case you didn't know, Ring is an Amazon product. They knew users' Wi-Fi passwords had been leaked and were compromised. They issued no warnings to the users to change their passwords, nor did they take additional measures to ensure greater protection, like requiring two-factor authentication. So, my friends, it was only a matter of time before hackers took advantage of these blatant security vulnerabilities. So, they're recommending against buying the Ring products. I'm not sure yet whether or not that has had an effect on sales. This is the holiday season. Probably not the best time for this to be happening, but there are a lot of different things that they can do to keep this secure. My thing is, it seems like they're trying to put the onus on the consumer, saying, okay, well, make sure you use two-factor authentication, make sure you change your password, make sure you do this and do that. Okay, now that's common sense, or shall we say sense. You should have all those things in place. But which you are the one that is selling me on the security. I have paid for the Ring, and now there are all these problems. Don't pass the buck, Amazon and Ring. Find a fix and make it work. Otherwise, your product is not going to continue to sell like it has. It's a great idea, but it's only great insofar that it protects me as a consumer. Would you not agree? Anyway, let's move on. We have Hey, and let me take a minute to break and say, hey, what's up? My name is Tachi. I'm a media professor, a filmmaker, a media content producer. I am also a journalist. This is the MediaScope Rewind. I am rewinding and talking about what we talked about on Wednesday. You can watch me live every Wednesday on Periscope, Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, and listen live on WJMSradio.com. So I just decided to come on today and do a little bit of this. I may do this every week. I may not. The big thing is I haven't had time to upload the episodes so that you guys can watch the replay, but I think live is a lot more fun. So a couple of more stories, and then we're going to hit it because it's Friday night. Just got paid Friday night. So I hope you have some good things that you're going to get into. All right. So now let's talk Instagram, social media. Lots going on with Instagram lately. Big thing for Facebook, who owns Instagram. Same thing with WhatsApp. They are trying to combat fake news. You already know that there's been all these privacy issues with Facebook, and now they also have this problem with, quote, false news. Bullocks, we already know it, as if fake news has never existed before. It's a buzzword now. However, they have been connected with the spreading of false and fake news, as you know, have many social media platforms. So in an effort to combat this, Instagram is now going to alert you if you're sharing a fake video or fake photo, I should say. Sorry. This is how this works. Obviously, they're trying to counter this label of fake news that's being put on them. And now they're going to identify posts by putting a false information notice, excuse me, to alert users about content that does not seem quite right, doesn't seem quite truthful. So in a press release, Facebook explained that the addition is going to enable a combination of users reporting and automation to discern potentially fake news or false content. And then they're going to submit it to independent fact checkers. Then administrators will proceed to flag that content accordingly. And if the post turns out to be fake, it will be taken down from the explore and the hashtag pages, labeled as false information, and then an overlay will prevent you from seeing it. And if you try to share that same photo, you'll be given a warning that you could be circulating false information. All right. Well, excuse me. Will this stop people from sharing things? I don't know. But it will be interesting to see whether or not this actually has an effect on false news. Folks, this is another thing about this whole false news thing. I also put the blame on us. We don't fact check. We only read one source and we're like, oh, well, word is bond. That's it then. It's true. Have you checked with several other sources? Chances are, if the same thing is being said in several different news outlets, chances are it is not false unless they've all been bamboozled, led astray, and misled. But chances are that there's a modicum of truth to it. So I urge you, be a media literate individual and make sure that you're checking more than one source to assure that what you're trying to spread is false. How many times have you gotten? I've gotten people who will send me these stories. I'm like, did you check it out before you sent it? And it irks me as a journalist. I'm all about the fact check, yo. I really am. So, in any case, that's what's happening with Instagram. We're going to talk 5G really quickly. Verizon has brought 5G to its 20th city. So it appears that they have won the 5G wars for now, anyway. And they launched 5G in Des Moines, Iowa. So it's no secret that Verizon has been cutthroat in terms of competition in the race to 5G. And they have become the first to offer 5G service, like fully, basically, if you can say fully. So they launched their cellular 5G network in select cities. And that means if you have the right location and the right device, you too, Charlie Brown, can have 5G service. So, but let's talk about this 5G service. What is 5G exactly? 5G is fifth generation. That's the fifth generation of wireless networks. And it's been actually about a decade in the making. Supposed to be super fast. It has incredible potential for things for people who do stuff like this live streaming. It's great, right? Super fast is super fast upload and download speeds. That means I can do stuff like this, the upload speed, really well. They began a limited rollout in select cities in 2018 and have been appearing and making appearances all over. You probably have noticed 5G pop up on your router. Yeah, it's there, but the infrastructure per se is not there. Here's another thing: 5G doesn't work well through walls. And as it is now, most of the 5G signal you're going to be able to pick up works best when you are outside. So once you come inside, it's not that great. But Verizon is actually working on trying to remedy this by having a good internal 5G infrastructure that can combat this. So 5G, we still have a way to go before it becomes a ubiquitous everybody thing. Okay. Some people are still on 3G, let's be honest. And again, remember, if you don't have a device that's 5G, it does no good. You're not going to be able to pick up that 5G network. All right. So, what else is left? We have just a little bit left. Let's do this. Let's talk. Yeah, one more story left. That's it. Pop culture, media, tech, and now on to pop culture. Are you a Coca-Cola fan? Would you do anything for that refreshing, bubbly cola taste? Would you pay $10 a month for it? Well, some people are Coke fans to that degree that they are doing this. Coca-Cola is testing for 6 months a new subscription service. That's right. And it is the Coca-Cola Insiders Club. And it's a subscription service that will deliver new and unreleased products to the doorsteps of 1,000 fans each month. Yeah, not just subscribers, fans. You really have to love this to do this, I think. So they've already sold out. All 1,000 slots are great because I was thinking, well, who would do that? They sold out. So they did such a great job on social media and spreading this around that they sold out. So what do you get? It goes across three categories of beverages like Coke Energy, Aha Spring Water, along or sparkling water, I should say, along with a few surprises and some swag. So this is for the ultimate Coke fan. $10 a month or a lump sum of $50 for 6 months. And again, like I said, all slots, well, 1,000 of them were snapped up with the quickness, and it's going to run for 6 months. So Don't fear. If you missed it and you love Coke that much, they are going to see how this goes. And if it goes well, they will open up more slots. So you may have the opportunity to drink Coke to your heart's desire and Coke products to your heart's desire. And that is it, my friends. It has been real. Thank you so much for joining me. We may, like I said, do this periodically. If I don't, I definitely am going to do better about uploading the other MediaScope videos, the other episodes of MediaScopes once they air. But you know what? This is also so much easier. So I just may go live, maybe Fridays, not sure yet. But I am ever so grateful for those of you that join me live and those of you watching me on the replay. Once again, my name is Tachi or Dr. Tachi. I am a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer. I am also a journalist, and I am in love with media, tech, and pop culture. And I love you for watching. So let me sign off the way I always do. I love you for watching. I bid you adieu, and I am going to exit. That's it, stage left, so that I can get on with my evening and you can get on with yours. I will see you next time. Cheers.